Today's ad was brought to you by our favorite game, Overrated. Today's fake sponsor is a swingers party. 2 out of 5 stars. A bit of constructive criticism. Stop slapping people's asses on their way out. I do not know how these random draws turn out so perfect, but I just love it. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is episode 16 of Ritual Unchained, and today we're talking about something that sounds like mystical woo-woo, but is actually hard science. Your thoughts literally create your reality. I know we've touched on this some before, but today we're going to go deeper. Not metaphorically, not in a spiritual sense, literally. Your thoughts reshape your brain. They change your body. They influence matter at the quantum level. Science is finally catching up to what mystics, shamans, and spiritual practitioners have known for millennia. Consciousness is the creative force. You are what you think. And today, I'm going to show you the proof. Before we dive in, I need to be very clear about something. This episode is about the science of how your thoughts affect your brain and body. I'm going to share real studies, real neuroscience, and real applications. But here's what this is not. This is not medical advice. If you're sick, injured, or dealing with a health condition, see a doctor. Get proper medical care. The mind is powerful, but it's not a replacement for medicine, surgery, or professional treatment when you need it. This is not saying you created your illness with bad thoughts. That's victim blaming disguised as spirituality, and it's bullshit. Sometimes bodies get sick. Sometimes bad things happen. That's not your fault. And it's not because you weren't positive enough. This is not toxic positivity. I'm not telling you to ignore real problems, suppress valid emotions, or just think happy thoughts when life is hard. Negative emotions exist for a reason. They're information. The goal isn't to never feel negative. It's to not get stuck in chronic negativity that damages your brain. What this is about understanding that your thoughts have physical effects on your brain and body. That's science. And once you know that, you can use your mind intentionally alongside medical care, therapy, and practical action to support your healing and well-being. Your mind is a tool, a powerful one, but it's one tool in your toolkit, not the only one. Use it wisely. Get help when you need it. And don't let anyone, including me, shame you for struggling. All right, let's dive in. Let's start with something most people experience every day. Negative thinking, worry, anxiety, rumination, catastrophizing, replaying past traumas, imagining worst case scenarios. We've all been there. But here's what most people don't know. Chronic negative thinking is literally damaging your brain. What is cortisol? Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone. When you're in danger, brain signals adrenal glands. They release cortisol. Your body enters fight or flight mode. This is good in actual emergencies. It helps you survive immediate threats, like when a lion is attacking you. But that's not usually our current reality. So here's the problem. Your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat, such as that I just spoke of, or an imagined threat, worrying about bills, replaying an argument, catastrophizing about the future. When you think negative thoughts, your body and brain responds as if the threat is real. It floods your system with cortisol. This is what cortisol does to your brain. Short-term and acute stress situations, it sharpens focus, increases alertness, and helps you respond to immediate dangers such as the attack. Long-term, with chronic stress from negative thinking, it shrinks the hippocampus, your memory and learning center. It literally shrinks part of your brain. It kills neurons in your brains. Brain cells literally die. It impairs neurogenesis, which is the creation of new brain cells, and it weakens your prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of your decision-making, impulse control, and rational thought. It also enlarges your amygdala, which is what controls your fear, anxiety center, and it becomes overactive. So the translation is, chronic negative thinking literally makes you dumber. It impairs your memory, learning, and decision-making. It makes you more anxious by enlarging your amygdala. It traps you in negativity. The damaged prefrontal cortex can't regulate your emotions well now. This creates a vicious cycle. Negative thoughts leads to cortisol release, which leads to brain damage, which makes it harder to think positively, which makes negative thoughts, which equals more cortisol, which equals more damage. And around it goes. You get stuck in negativity because your brain has been physically changed to default to it. This isn't just in your head, people. When people say it's all in your head dismissively, they're actually right, but not in the way they think. It is in your head, but that means it's real. Your thoughts are creating physical changes in your brain structure. Negativity isn't just bad vibes, it's brain damage. So what do? You've got to interrupt the pattern. Catch negative thoughts early. Notice whenever you're starting to spiral. Redirect to neutral or positive. You don't just have to jump to toxic positivity, just stop the cortisol flood. You have to have physical stress relief with exercise, breath work, grounding, and meditation, and the things that we've covered in the other episodes that are really good for your biofield and your heart-mind connection. This burns off excess cortisol. And then you have to have neuroplasticity exercises. We'll cover this later, but you can rebuild your brain after you've destroyed it with these negative thoughts. The point is, your thoughts aren't harmless. They're creating your brain's structure. So choose them wisely. Now let's talk about one of the most mind-blowing studies in neuroscience. The study where people built muscle mass just by imagining working out. No gym, no weights, just mental visualization. And they got physically stronger. In the study, researchers at Cleveland Clinic, Dr. Guang Yu in 2001, had control groups. The first one was people who did actual physical finger exercises. Number 2, people who imagined doing finger exercises, mental rehearsal only. And number 3 was the control group, no exercise, mental or physical. The results after 12 weeks were, in the physical exercise group, was 30% strength increase. In the mental exercise group, there was a 22% strength increase. In the control group, there was no change. The people who only imagined exercising got 22% stronger. No physical movement, literally just thought. How is this possible? Your brain doesn't distinguish clearly between actually doing something and vividly imagining doing something. When you imagine an action, the same motor cortex neurons fire. The same neural pathways activate. Your muscles receive weak electrical signals, not enough to move, but enough to strengthen. Mental rehearsal creates stronger neural pathways. The brain to muscle connection improves, and it increases muscle fiber recruitment, which is the brain learns to activate more fibers. And there's actual physiological changes with increased measurable strength on equipment. Athletes already know this, guys. Elite athletes use mental rehearsal constantly. Olympians visualize their routines hundreds of times before competing. Basketball players imagine free throws. Gymnasts mentally rehearse routines. Why? Because it works. Visualization isn't woo-woo, it's neuroscience. Here's some applications for you. You can use this for healing injuries. Visualize tissues repairing, bones knitting, inflammation reducing, building strength, imagining muscles growing, getting stronger, improving performance, mentally rehearsing skills you want to master, pain management, imagining pain dissolving and nerves calming. This is how to do it. Number 1 is get specific. Vividly imagine the physical sensation, the movement, and the outcome. Number 2, engage emotion. Feel the success, the strength, the healing. Number 3, repeat it consistently. Daily practice, just like a physical exercise. Your brain will respond as if it's real. Because to your brain, vivid imagination is real. Let's talk about something doctors know but don't always tell you. Your belief about a treatment affects whether it works, guys. This is the placebo effect, and its dark twin, the nocebo effect. The placebo effect is when you give someone a sugar pill, tell them it's powerful medicine, and they get better. Not because the pill did anything, it's inert, but because they believed it would work. This happens in pain relief. Placebo pain pills reduce pain as effectively as low-dose actual painkillers. This works in depression. Placebo antidepressants work for 30 to 40% of people. And in surgery, a fake knee surgery, just incisions, no actual repair, shows improved pain and function. The belief that they're actually being healed triggers actual healing. How does this work, you say? When you believe you're receiving treatment, brain releases endorphins, natural painkillers. The immune system activates, inflammation reduces, and body self-healing mechanisms engage. Your belief tells your body, we're being helped, initiate repair. And your body does. This is the dark side of this, the nocebo effect. This is how it works. You give someone an inert substance. Tell them that it will make them sick. Then they get sick. Or tell someone their diagnosis is terminal. They believe they'll die. They decline way faster than expected. Here's an example. The doctor says this treatment has terrible side effects, nausea, fatigue, pain. The patient experiences more side effects than patients who weren't warned at all. Why? Their belief that the side effects will happen creates them. This is the power and the danger of these beliefs. Placebo shows belief can heal. Nocebo shows belief can harm. Your body responds to what your mind believes is true. So when receiving a medical treatment, here's a practical application. Cultivate belief it will work. Not blind faith, but hopeful expectation. Visualize healing happening. See the medicine and treatment working. Avoid catastrophizing about the side effects. Expect the best outcome, not the worst. And when someone gives you a negative prognosis, take the information seriously. Don't ignore medical advice, but don't accept it as a fixed fate. Prognoses are probabilities, not certainties. Believe in your body's ability to heal. Harness the placebo for yourself. Your belief is medicine or poison. You're choosing which. So we've established that negative thinking damages your brain and that your mind can build muscle just through imagination. Now let's talk about the really good news. Your brain isn't fixed. You can rewire it. This is called neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most empowering discoveries in neuroscience. What is neuroplasticity? For a long time, scientists believe your brain is done developing by age 25. Neural pathways are fixed after childhood, and you're stuck with the brain you have. But that is all wrong. What we now know is your brain changes constantly throughout your entire life, like your bones. New neural connections form based on what you think, do, and experience. Old pathways can weaken, new ones can strengthen. Your brain is more like clay than stone. It's moldable, changeable, plastic, not rigid. This is how neuroplasticity works. Neurons that fire together wire together. This is the basic principle. When you think a thought repeatedly, perform an action consistently, or practice a skill over and over, the neurons involved in that thought, action, and skill start forming stronger connections. Like learning to play the guitar. The first time, you're clumsy, awkward, and the brain has to work hard because no neural pathways exist yet. After 100 hours of practice, fingers move more easily. There's neural pathways forming. After 1,000 hours, playing becomes almost automatic, strong, established neural pathways. The same process happens with thoughts. Thinking I'm not good enough repeatedly creates a strong neural pathway for self-criticism. And emotions. Feeling anxious repeatedly creates a strong neural pathway for anxiety. For beliefs, believing the world is dangerous repeatedly wires your brain to see danger everywhere. The good news is if negative patterns can be wired, they can be unwired. If limiting beliefs create neural pathways, you can create new pathways for empowering beliefs. You're not stuck with trauma responses, anxiety patterns, negative self-talk, limiting beliefs about yourself or your reality. You can rewrite all of it. This is how to rewire your brain. Like we discussed before, interrupt old patterns. You can't create new pathways while constantly running the old ones. When you notice yourself thinking a negative thought like I'm not good enough, or you're spiraling into anxiety, or you're defaulting to old trauma responses, interrupt it. Speak out loud. Stop. That's the old pattern. I'm not doing that anymore. Or snap a rubber band on your wrist with a physical interruption. Stand up and move. It changes your state. Take 3 deep breaths, which shifts the nervous system out of fight or flight. The interrupt breaks the automatic loop. Next, redirect to a new pattern. After interrupting, immediately redirect to a new thought or belief you're wiring. The old pattern, I'm not good enough. The new pattern, I am enough. I am learning and growing. The old pattern, the world is dangerous. The new pattern, I am safe. I trust myself to navigate challenges. Say it out loud. This activates more neurons than just thinking it. Feel it. Emotion strengthens the wiring. Step 3 is repeat consistently. One time doesn't rewire anything. You need repetition, just like when you're learning to play the guitar. You need daily practice with affirmations, meditation, and visualization. I have a thing for myself where I write in dry erase marker on my mirror. Whatever I'm trying to rewire my brain into, I put it there and I see it every day whenever I go to get ready in my mirror. Consistent redirection. Interrupt the old pattern, choose a new one every single time. How long will this take? It takes 21 days to start forming a habit, 90 days to make it a lifestyle, and 6+ months for deep rewiring. Which sounds like, oh my gosh, but after so many days of doing it, you will be subconsciously doing these things without having to make a conscious effort. Be patient though. You're literally growing new brain structure, guys. That takes time. So give yourself grace. Also, take new actions. Thoughts alone aren't enough. You need to behave differently. If you're rewiring, I'm confident, take actions a confident person would take. Speak up, try new things, hold boundaries. If you're trying to be healthy, I'm healthy. Act like a healthy person. Move your body, eat well, and rest. If you're trying to rewire, I'm powerful. Make sovereign choices. Reclaim your authority. Stop playing the victim. Action reinforces the new neural pathway. Your brain learns, oh, we're doing this new thing. Okay, I'll make this pathway stronger. Next, engage multiple senses. The more senses involved, the faster the rewiring. Like I said, say affirmations out loud. That's auditory. Write them down. This is kinesthetic and visual. Visualize the new reality. This is visual and emotional. Feel the emotion of the new belief. This is emotional and somatic. Move your body in alignment with the new belief. This is kinesthetic. Here's an example. You're rewiring, I am powerful. Say, I am powerful, sovereign, and free. Write. Journal about the times you've embodied power by standing up for yourself or whatever choices you have made to do that. Visualize yourself. See yourself commanding reality, sealed biofield, and radiating strength. Feel it. Embody the feeling of being powerful. Stand tall. Breathe deep. Feel it in your body. And act. Make a sovereign choice today. Set a boundary. Speak a truth. Reclaim something that you've been giving up. All senses engaged equals fast rewiring. If you're rewiring anxiety, the old pathway is something bad is going to happen with hypervigilance and constant worry. The new pathway, you say to yourself, I am safe. I trust myself to handle what comes. Here's how. Interrupt your anxious thoughts. Stop. That's fear, not truth. Redirect. I am safe right now. I can handle this. You should practice meditation for like 10 minutes a day, focusing on safety and trust in the moment right now. Do something that feels slightly risky but safe to build trust in yourself. And this can be anything that is perceived as risky to you, like saying hello to a stranger. There's many different interpretations of this, of something that's risky but's pretty safe. And repeat it for 90 days minimum. If you're rewiring a trauma response, the old pathway says, I'm in danger, and you're triggered by anything resembling that past trauma. The new pathway, you say to yourself, that was then, I am safe now. This is how. You do your somatic work that we've discussed previously, the TRE, the breath work, shaking. You release that stored trauma in the body. You do grounding. When you're triggered, touch the earth. Name 5 things you can see. It brings you to the present. And you say your affirmation. I am safe. That was in the past. I am here now, and I am safe. Then you do your therapy. EMDR, somatic experiencing, professional support for deep trauma. And you consistently practice this. Every time you're triggered, bring yourself back to present safety. Here's how you rewire scarcity to abundance. Old pathway. There's not enough. There's not enough money, love, opportunity, and you have a scarcity mindset. The new pathway. There is more than enough. I am abundant. This is how. Practice gratitude daily. List 10 things you're grateful for. This trains your brain to see abundance. If you're struggling with this could be the simplest of things. You have to just start with gratitude. I'm grateful that today is beautiful. I'm grateful I woke up today. I'm grateful I have clothes on my back today that are clean and I have a home, or whatever it is. Start there with your gratitude practices. You interrupt your scarcity thoughts. Stop. That's old programming. Redirect it. I have everything I need. More is coming. And in action, give with your money, with your time, with your energy. It proves to your brain there is enough to share. And you celebrate the evidence. When money comes, opportunities arrive, or love shows up, acknowledge it. Reinforce the abundance pathway. Like I said, how long it takes depends on you. It depends on how deep the old pattern is. Is it from your childhood trauma or a recent habit? And how consistently you practice. How much action you take with your thoughts plus behavior, which equals faster rewiring, like I said. So ongoing though, the maintenance is never done after the 6 months. You never completely erase old pathways, but you can make them so weak they rarely activate. Brain scans with MRIs show that meditators have thicker prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of your decision making and emotional regulation, after 8 weeks of daily practice. That's 2 months, guys. That's nothing. 2 months is nothing on the amount of time you have lived your whole life. You've got 2 months to try this out, right? Come on, it's not that long. Trauma survivors doing EMDR show reduced amygdala activation with your fear center calming down. London taxi drivers have larger hippocampus with memory and spatial navigation from years of navigating complex cities. Physical, measurable brain changes from repeated thought and action. You're not just thinking differently, you're growing new brain tissue. The bottom line is you're not stuck with the brain you were born with, the trauma responses you developed, the limiting beliefs you absorbed or were taught, the negative patterns you've run for years. You can rewire all of it. Your brain is plastic, moldable, and changeable. Every thought you think, every action you take, you're either strengthening old pathways and staying stuck or building new ones and evolving. Choose wisely, guys. You're literally building your brain with every moment. Now we're going to talk about something that sounds like pure mysticism, but is actually hard physics, how consciousness affects matter at the quantum level. Mystics have said for millennia, consciousness creates reality. You are the creator. What you observe, you affect. And like I said, I've spoken about this previously, some whenever I touched on it, whenever we talked about the I am statements. And right now, quantum physics is proving they were right. The double slit experiment is a game changer. This is the experiment that changed everything. Here's the setup. Scientists shoot particles, electrons, photons, and tiny bits of matter through 2 slits in a barrier. Then they observe where they land on a screen behind the barrier. Simple, right? But here's where it gets weird. In experiment 1, there's no observer. When no one is watching or measuring which slit the particle goes through, the result was the particle behaves like waves. They go through both slits simultaneously. They create an interference pattern on the screen like ripples in a water overlapping. They act like probability, not solid matter. If you look up this experiment, you could see the difference in behaviors of light between the first experiment and the second experiment. It's really super cool. So in experiment 2, with an observer, when scientists set up the measuring device to observe which slit the particle goes through, the result was the particle behaves like particles, like solid matter. They go through one slit or the other, not both. They create 2 distinct bands on the screen with no interference pattern. They act like solid matter, not waves. What this means is the act of observation changes the behavior of the matter. When observed, the matter behaves like particles, solid, defined, and real. And when not observed, matter behaves like waves, potential, probability, not yet manifested. The observer collapses the wave of probability into physical reality. Let that sink in. Your consciousness, the observer, affects matter, physical reality, at the quantum level. You're not passively observing reality. You're actively participating in its creation. Here's what scientists say about this. Niels Bohr, a physicist and a Nobel Prize winner, says, if quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Werner Heisenberg, a physicist with uncertainty principle, says the amount of atoms or elementary particles themselves are not real. They form a world of potentialities or possibilities rather than one of things or facts. Max Planck, a physicist, the father of quantum theory, says, I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as a derivative from consciousness. The translation is, matter isn't solid stuff that exists independently of observation. Matter is potential that becomes actual when consciousness observes, measures, and interacts with it. consciousness is primary, matter is secondary. This is what this means for you. If consciousness affects matter at a quantum level, then your attention matters. What you focus on literally shapes what manifests. Where you place your attention collapses probability waves into physical reality. It determines what becomes real in your experience, and it creates your world. Here's an example. You focus on your problems, your consciousness collapses probability waves around more problems. You see evidence of problems everywhere. Opportunities disappear. You focus on solutions, your consciousness collapses probability waves around solutions. Synchronicities, ideas, resources appear. Same quantum field, different focus, different realities manifest. You are the creator, not the observer. The old paradigm says you're a passive observer in an objective reality that exists out there, independent of you. The new paradigm states quantum physics proves this, that you're an active participant creating reality through your observation, attention, and intention. You're not watching a movie, you're directing it, people. Reality is probability until you observe it. Before observation, everything exists as potential, the quantum field of infinite possibilities. After observation, one possibility collapses into physical reality. This means the future isn't fixed. It's probability. Aren't you excited? Your observation, intention, and choices selects which probability becomes real. You're choosing from infinite timelines with every moment of consciousness. Also, collective consciousness shapes collective reality. If individual consciousness affects individual experience of reality, then collective consciousness, with billions of people focusing attention, affects collective reality, the world we all share together. This is why mass media controls narratives. It directs collective attention and observation towards specific reality. This is why fear-based news creates a fear-based world. Collective consciousness collapsing probability waves around fear and danger. This is why mass meditation can shift global events. Collective consciousness focusing on peace and healing affects the quantum field. The demiurge system knows this. That's why they control what you pay attention to in the news, social media, and entertainment. They keep you in fear because fear collapses probability towards threat and scarcity. And they prevent you from knowing your creator. If you knew, you'd stop creating their reality and start creating your own. Quantum physics describes reality as a field of infinite potential possibility. Everything that could exist exists as a probability in this field. Consciousness with observation, attention, and intention selects from the infinite possibilities and collapses it into physical manifestation. Think of it like the quantum field equals infinite movie scripts. Your consciousness equals the director choosing which script to film. And physical reality equals the movie that plays based on which script you chose. Mystics called this the void, the akasha, the unified field, pure potentiality. Quantum physics call it the quantum field, zero-point field, and superposition, all possibilities existing simultaneously until observed. Same thing, different language. This is how you use this knowledge. Direct your attention intentionally. Stop giving attention to fear-based news and media, gossip, drama, negativity, what you do not want. Give attention to what you do want. Beauty, solutions, possibilities, the reality you're choosing to create. Your attention is creative force. Use it wisely. Also, observe with intention. When you observe something, you're not just noticing it, you're affecting it. So observe with intention. Looking at your body, observe it as healthy, strong, vibrating, not broken, sick, and failing. Looking at your life, observe it as abundant, purposeful, and aligned, not lacking, meaningless, and stuck. Your observation collapses probability. Choose what you're collapsing toward. Also, use visualization as a quantum tool. Visualization isn't daydreaming, it's quantum mechanics. When you vividly imagine, your brain fires as if it's real, like we talked about. Your consciousness observes that reality. The quantum field responds to your observation. You're selecting a probability and beginning to collapse it into physical reality. The more vividly you imagine, plus emotionally engage, plus take aligned action, the faster it manifests. Understand you're choosing your timelines. Every choice, every thought, every observation is you selecting a timeline. A timeline where you're a victim exists as a probability. A timeline where you're a sovereign creator also exists as a probability. Your consciousness chooses which one becomes real. Stop choosing this victim timeline. Start choosing a creator timeline. So now manifestation isn't woo-woo. It's quantum physics. The old understanding of think positive and the universe gives you stuff sounds like magic. The quantum understanding is infinite possibilities exist in the quantum field, as we said. Your consciousness selects a possibility. Emotional engagement plus aligned action strengthens this selection. Repeated focus collapses possibility into physical reality, and what you manifested was always possible. You just selected it from the field and collapsed it into your reality. This is why manifestation requires clear intention, selecting which possibility from the infinite field, emotional engagement, which strengthens the quantum selection, aligned action, which is a physical behavior that reinforces the collapse, and sustained force. Repeated observation solidifies the manifestation. It's not magic, it's mechanics. Quantum mechanics. The mystics were right. You create your reality is a quantum fact. What you focus on expands. That's the observer effect. Consciousness is primary, matter is secondary, which is what all those people said. All is one, separation is illusion. This is quantum entanglement. Particles connected across space and time. Ancient wisdom equals modern physics. They're saying the same thing. The bottom line is you're not a powerless observer in a fixed reality. You are a conscious creator in a field of infinite possibility. Your attention, intention, and observation literally shape what becomes real. Quantum physics proves it. Mystics knew it. Now you know it. What will you create? Now that you understand the science, your thoughts affect your brain, your imagination creates physical changes, your beliefs trigger healing or harm, you can rewire neural pathways, and consciousness literally collapses quantum probability into reality. Let's talk about manifestation. Not the wish upon a star version, the actual mechanics. Manifestation isn't magic. It's neuroscience plus quantum physics. Two systems working together. There's one, your reticular activating system, RAS, your brain's filter. This is part of your brainstem. It acts as a filter for what you consciously notice. You're bombarded with millions of data points every second. Sight, sounds, sensations. RAS decides what gets through to conscious awareness. This is how it works. It shows what you've been told is important. Example, you decide you want a red car. Suddenly, there's red cars everywhere. Did red cars multiply overnight? No. They were always there. But for now, your RAS is filtering for them because you told it red cars are important. This is how manifestation works neurologically. So you set a clear intention. I want blah, blah, blah. Your RAS adjusts the filter and now shows you opportunities, resources, and people related to what you wanted. You see opportunities you would have missed before. You act on those opportunities. Voila, it manifests. You didn't create from nothing. You noticed what was always available and acted on it. In the quantum field, collapsing probability, your consciousness selects from infinite possibilities in quantum field and collapses one into physical reality. This is how it works at a quantum level. Infinite possibilities exist. Having money, being healthy, meeting the right person all exist as a probability. Your focused attention and intention selects one probability. Emotional engagement strengthens the selection. Aligned action collapses it into physical reality. Sustained focus solidifies the manifestation. Manifestation equals RAS plus quantum field plus action. So you need clarity. What do you want? Be specific. Not, I want more money, but I want to earn $100,000 or whatever that is doing this job. Know why you want it. A purpose. Not just, oh, I want to be rich. Why do you want it? Do you want a bigger house? Do you want to help the poor? What do you want it for? Then you give it your attention. You focus on it. Visualize it every day. See it as if it's already real. Think about it. This programs your RAS to show you related opportunities. Don't obsess over it. Attachment blocks manifestation. Hold the vision, but stay unattached to how it comes. Then feel it. Feel what it's like to already have what you want. Gratitude for it, even before it manifests. Emotion equals a quantum amplifier. It strengthens the collapse. And then action. Move towards it. Take steps aligned with the vision. Follow opportunities that your RAS shows you. Manifestation requires participation, not just wishing. Then trust. Let go of your control. We've talked about this before. Be like Elsa. Let it go. Okay? Let that shit go. Release attachment to specific timelines or methods. Trust the process. Surrender how it comes. Just know it's coming. This is why manifestation fails for people. They have vague intentions. So the RAS doesn't know what to filter for. The quantum field doesn't know what to collapse for you. You have conflicting beliefs. You consciously want abundance, but you subconsciously believe, I don't deserve it. Manifestation blocked. You have no action. You saw opportunities, but you didn't take them. You have attachment or desperation. You're gripping too tight, trying to control the how. It blocks the flow. Or you give up too soon. It takes time to collapse probability, and you stopped before the manifestation was completed. Impatience. Manifestation that works gives clear, specific intention, daily visualization with emotional engagement, aligned action on opportunities, belief you're worthy of receiving it, and patience plus trust in timing. If you're manifesting help, visualize your body healing, strong and vibrant. Feel what it's like to be healthy. Take aligned action like we talk about. Eat well, move, rest, seek treatment. And then you trust your body's ability to heal. If you're manifesting a relationship, visualize the feeling of the relationship, not a specific person. That's manipulation. Embody the energy you want to attract. Take action. Go places. Be open. Work on yourself. Trust the right person will appear. If you're manifesting abundance, visualize abundance, money flowing, opportunities arriving. Feel grateful for what you already have. It trains your RAS to see more abundance. Take action on financial opportunities. Release your scarcity mindset. The bottom line is manifestation isn't wishing without action, or trying to control or manipulate reality, or spiritual bypassing. Just manifest, don't do the work. Manifestation is programming your RAS to show you opportunities, selecting probability from the quantum field with your consciousness, taking aligned action when opportunities appear, and co-creating with reality, not demanding from it. You're not a wizard casting spells. You're a conscious being wielding neuroscience plus quantum physics to shape your experience. Use it wisely. All right, you've got the science. Now let's make it practical. How do you actually use this knowledge in your daily life? You can use this morning practice. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Set your intention for the day in the beginning of the day. Before you check your phone, before you engage with the world, ask yourself, what do I want to create today? Not what do you have to do, like tasks and obligations, but what energy or outcome you want to create. Examples. I create peace and clarity today. I create abundance and opportunity today. I create healing and strength today. This programs your RAS and sets your quantum intention. As we spoke about before in episode 14, your I am statements. Speak 3 to 5 I am statements out loud. I am sovereign. I am powerful. I am healthy and whole. I am abundant. I am protected and guided. This is why this works. Neuroplasticity, like we talked about, it's rewiring your self-concept. For your RAS, it's filtering for evidence of these truths you speak. In the quantum field, you're observing yourself as these things that collapses that probability. Next, visualize the desired outcome. Spend 2 to 3 minutes vividly imagining your body healthy and strong, your goals manifesting, your day going beautifully. Engage emotion. Feel the success. Feel the health. Feel the joy from what you're wanting. Your brain plus your quantum field respond. Throughout the day, interrupt negative spirals. When you catch yourself in negativity, stop. Interrupt the pattern. Redirect. Choose your new thoughts. Speak. Say the new thought out loud. I am safe. I am capable. This is temporary. You're weakening the old pathway and building a new one with neuroplasticity. Do your gratitude practice. Notice 3 things to be grateful for throughout the day, not just in the morning. This makes your RAS filter for abundance and good instead of problems and lack. It raises your frequency, and it trains your brain to see what's working. And you have your conscious observation. Remember, you're collapsing probability with your observation. When you look at your body, observe it as healthy, not broken. When you look at your life, observe it as abundant, not lacking. When you look at challenges, observe them as growth, not obstacles. Your observation shapes what manifests. In the evening, practice for 5 minutes. Before you sleep, ask, what did I create today? What did I learn? Acknowledge wins, even small ones, reinforcing your manifestation pathway. Like, I stopped myself today when I was having a negative thought pattern. I saw the sunshine is beautiful today. I enjoyed the sunshine on my skin. Release what didn't work. Let it go. Don't ruminate on it. If you notice, oh shit, I forgot to stop this negative thought pattern I had at lunchtime, it's okay. Be like Elsa. Let that shit go. Then set your intention for sleep. Tonight, my subconscious integrates today's lessons and prepares me for tomorrow's creation. Here's some specific practices for specific goals. For healing, your daily visualization of a body healing, cells regenerating, pain dissolving, I am statements, I am healthy, my body knows how to heal, and the placebo mindset. Believe in treatment's efficacy, or nocebo. You're having no treatment, but you believe that you're being healed. For abundance, gratitude for what you have trains your RAS to see more abundance. Your I am statements are I am abundant. Money flows easily to me. Take action on financial opportunities. Manifestation requires participation. For relationships, embody the energy you want to attract. Be the partner you want for yourself. Use your I am statements. I am worthy of love. I attract aligned relationships. Release attachment to a specific person. Manifest the feeling, not the person. So don't sit there and think, oh, I want a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 6 foot tall, blah, 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 blah. No, it is not about looks. It's about what you want when you're thinking of your aligned relationship. Because we can't think about how it's going to come, but that it's coming. For goals and dreams, visualize your end results daily, not the struggle, the success. The I am statements are, I am successful. I am achieving my goals. Break into action steps. Your RAS shows you opportunities. Act on them. This is an unstoppable combination. When you combine biofield sealing in episode 14, where you're sovereign and you have a protected energy field, plus your I am statements that we talked about now and in episode 14, you're commanding reality and programming your subconscious. And you have your spirit guides and your support. In episode 15, you're not alone. The divine counsel is backing you whenever you're speaking to them. And your neuroplasticity practices from today, you're rewiring your brain for success. And you have quantum intention, where your consciousness is creating matter, and then you give your aligned action with manifestation that requires participation. You are unstoppable. You're protected, supported, rewired, creating reality. That is the full toolkit. That's sovereignty plus power plus creation. Final reminder, this isn't about being perfect. You'll have negative thoughts. Just interrupt them and redirect them. You will drop into fear. Acknowledge it and then choose differently. You will forget to practice some days. Just start again tomorrow. It's okay. We are all learning and mistakes happen. It's all right. Progress, not perfection. Every time you choose love over fear, speak I am instead of I'm not. Visualize success instead of failure. Take aligned action instead of staying stuck. You're rewiring your brain, shifting your frequency, and creating your reality, one choice at a time. You are what you think. Like I said, choose wisely. A quick sidebar, if your thoughts literally create your reality, why doesn't everyone know this? Why are we taught the opposite? That we're powerless, that reality just happens to us, that thinking doesn't matter. Because if you knew you were the creator, the entire control system would collapse. We talked about the demiurge several times before, the corrupt system that feeds on human energy through fear, separation, and control. Now you understand why they use specific tactics like fear-based media, victim consciousness programming, because creator consciousness threatens the system. If you know you create reality, you stop needing them to save you. You stop obeying without question. You reclaim your power. Victim consciousness equals controllable. Creator consciousness equals freedom. And they suppress positive thinking. They make a mockery of manifestation. Mainstream culture mocks positive thinking by calling it naive, manifestation by calling it privilege or delusion, or spirituality by calling it woo-woo, like, oh, you need to go to the psych ward, you've lost your mind. Why? Because if manifestation and positive thinking, creator consciousness became mainstream, people would stop consuming fear-based media. No more cortisol, clearer thinking. They would stop feeling powerless. No more victim consciousness. They would start creating lives of abundance, health, and freedom. The system loses its grip there. They need you thinking. Positive thinking doesn't work. You can't change reality with thoughts, and you're powerless because the opposite is true and they know it. They also give you distraction and overstimulation. There's constant social media, dopamine hits, and attention is fragmented through all these things. Entertainment with binge watching, gaming, and endless content, or busyness. So there's no time to think, reflect, or focus. Why? Because manifestation requires focused attention. If your attention is scattered across 100 things, you can't hold clear intention. RAS doesn't know what to filter for. The quantum field doesn't know what probability to collapse for you. You manifest chaos because your attention is chaotic. Distraction equals inability to create intentionally. They've normalized negative self-talk. Culture teaches self-depreciation is humility. I'm so stupid, I'm the worst is relatable and funny. Or you call yourself fat, or oh my God, I'm so stupid. All these things, right? Negative self-talk has become normal. Why? Because I am statements are creative commands. When you say I am worthless repeatedly, neuroplasticity wires that belief. RAS filters for evidence of worthlessness. Quantum field collapses probability towards experiences that confirm worthlessness. You literally create your own powerlessness through language. The system wants you speaking against yourself. Once you know this, every time you choose calm over fear, you're breaking the system. You choose creator over victim, you're reclaiming power. You focus your attention intentionally, you're manifesting your reality, not theirs. You speak I am statements, you're commanding reality as sovereign. You're not just improving your life, you're disrupting the control system they have created for us that's fucking shit. Your sovereign mind, your empowered consciousness, your intentional creation, these are revolutionary acts. We don't need a literal, physical, fighting revolution. When we have this, our brains, especially if we use them together, are powerful, and it does create revolutionary acts. This isn't selfish self-improvement. This is spiritual warfare, guys. You're reclaiming your mind, which equals you reclaiming your power. And that's exactly what they don't want. So do it anyway. Now let me close with this. You are what you think, not metaphorically, not in a spiritual sense, literally. Your thoughts shape your brain, change your body, filter your perception, collapse quantum probability into physical reality. Every time you think is a creative act. You're either building the reality you want or building the reality the system wants for you. There's no neutral. Every moment you're creating. The only question is, what are you creating? The choice is yours every single moment. Will you think I'm powerless? Nothing works for me. I'm sick, broken, and stuck. Or I am sovereign. I am powerful. I am healthy, whole, and free. The science is clear. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're not powerless in a fixed reality. You're not at the mercy of genetics, environment, or fate. You are consciousness, and consciousness creates matter. This isn't about blame. I'm not saying you created your trauma. You didn't. You're responsible for every bad thing that happened. You're not. You should feel guilty if life is hard. Absolutely not. What I am saying is, from this moment forward, you have power. You can rewire your brain, change your body, shift your perception, create your reality, and create your reality. The past happened, but the future is probability. And you, through your thoughts, beliefs, attention, and action, are collapsing that probability into whatever reality you choose. The choice is always yours. Every thought, every moment, every breath, you are choosing what to think, where to focus, what to create. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker. You are not your circumstances. You are the creator. You are not powerless. You are consciousness, the most powerful force in existence. Use it. Rewire your brain, manifest your reality, reclaim your sovereignty. You are what you think. So think like the creator you are, guys. Next week, we're going to talk about how boundaries are sacred, navigating toxic relationships, especially whenever we were raised in an environment where we were taught toxic people-pleasing and toxic guilt. Until then, guard your thoughts, speak your I am statements, visualize your desired reality, take aligned action, and watch your consciousness create matter right before your eyes. You've got this. You are this. You are the creator. Now go create. Until next time, may your path be aligned, your gnosis be clear, and the veil be ever thin. Our journey is still not over yet. Thanks for all the love and support. Much love and positive vibes, you beautiful souls.